So the recording is done, and this is the expertise in the fields. And I've been training for around like 8 plus years, both online and offline trainer. So currently I'm located in Doha, so it's like in the Qatar region, Middle East, and I work for a client based in Switzerland. And also the other clients that I previously worked with are like say Verizon, Emirates NBD, Binance, to name a few. Okay, so this is a short about myself, and let's hear it from your side. So, since it's like say the first session, so I would love to know like what type of audience I am into it. So, feel free to unmute yourself or feel free to comment it in the chat. So, whichever you're comfortable with, please feel free to do it so that we can have a much interactive session than a one-way conversation. Okay, and also I will get to know like what type of audience I'm into it and what is your expectations and all those things. Yeah, so let's give some 2 minutes for this, and then we'll go on to the other slides, other part of the slides. So over to you guys. So anyone can start, whoever feels comfortable.
Yeah, hi, this is Gayatri.
Yep. Hello, Gayatri. Yeah. So
Actually, like I have some experience in IPM, like long back, like around 3 years, 4 years ago. Like lot of things has changed regarding to IPM. Just want to how it's upgraded everything. I want to learn from for IPM. That's why.
okay, that's great, Gayatri. Yeah, thanks for that. So any more people?
Hi, Arvind.
Yep. Hello.
Kumar here.
Yeah. Hello, Kumar.
Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible. Yeah, much clearer than
Yeah,
me. Yeah, yes.
yeah. So I work as an automation engineer. So
Okay.
I'm good in UI, backend, performance
Okay,
testing,
that's
and all.
great.
So I have
Okay.
involved in mobile automation 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so there is no much hands-on from last 3 years.
Okay.
Mainly concentrating on UI, backend, and some other IoT stuff. So just wanted to brush up and like understand more about RPM. I also wanted to ask you one question. You mentioned about
Yeah.
Verizon, right?
Yeah,
So
yes.
yeah, I'm associated with Verizon, but
Ah,
they have they work on hot paper KaiOS, right? I mean, they have
uh,
KaiOS operating system for their mobiles, right? Have
I'm not sure. Like, say, there are different projects in Verizon. So I worked in the
mm,
POS actually, point of sale.
mm,
So where, like,
okay.
say, you sell the device along with the connection, right? So I was in that one, and the application is also called point of sale POS, and it's mostly, yes, it's an iOS based application. So they have tablets, not mobile devices actually. They have tablets,
Mm,
and we need to test it on the tablets. Apple tablets, I mean to say. Yeah.
okay. So our
So
other
like,
team is associated
mhm.
with the Verizon, and they
uh,
have their flip phones where we does testing on those
mhm.
things. So
Okay,
they
that's
mainly use
great.
KaiOS and hot paper
Uh-huh.
devices. And they say it as hot paper.
Hard paper
Some
device.
different OS. Yeah, yeah,
Different. Yeah,
yeah.
yep. Because there are different projects in Verizon, and
Mm-hmm.
as you said, right? So that is one of the user interface. A user can give input on that, and they can use it in their application to manipulate anything. So maybe
Okay.
that type of application, I guess. But what I worked was purely like say a tablet-based application where like say you can sell the device and you can sell the phone connections along with that, and yeah, it goes about like that, kind of a e-commerce website, I would tell. Kind of it, not the same, I would tell.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's
I have a major, I mean, a very
hmm.
important question. I have Windows laptop,
Okay,
and I
okay.
know like it's very difficult to
Mac.
work
Yeah,
on, yeah, work on my iOS devices. So
yes,
that's a
that's true.
limitation. And
Yeah,
you know about market, right? They
correct,
ask about iOS and Android both. So
correct,
until
correct,
and
correct.
unless there is a better brush up and hands on these things,
Mhm.
it's sometimes difficult to crack the interview.
Yeah, so to answer your question, I'll come a little bit later because there is a catch over there. So one thing
Mhm.
is like say when mobile automation comes into picture, so this is not only for you, for everyone in our forum. So when you come to the mobile automation, right? So everyone thinks like say I have a Windows machine, I have a Mac machine. So if you have a Mac machine, no issues. So you have access to everything in your place. But if you have a Windows machine, some people will be like little skeptical, like how can I do iOS device or something like that. But one thing in an industry currently which is existing is like say we have stopped using the physical devices unless and until it's necessary. Okay, so we have stopped using physical devices and we are moving towards the cloud. Okay, so when you say moving towards the cloud, that means like say it's not like AWS or Azure or GCP or OpenShift or not those platform. So those platform are still there, but cloud in the sense you have some provider. Okay, they give or they host the devices, either real device or a simulator or an emulator, or any of these three devices on their cloud platform. And from their cloud platform, we used to access the device. So this is what currently that is happening in an industry for the quite 2 to 3 years. So why this shift happened is like say for cost. Okay, because like when you buy a iPhone, okay, so for mobile automation basically we need an iPhone or an Android device. So if you go for an Android device, assume a scenario like say I have a login application. Okay, so I need to log in to the application and verify whether the login works or not. Okay, and you have different Android devices. Okay, so you have Google, you have Oppo, you have Vivo, you have Samsung, OnePlus, you have a wide range of Android devices. Okay, so is it possible to test in all the devices, or maybe you can answer this question in the chat. Is it necessary to test all the scenarios in all the devices? Maybe let me post a question. Is it necessary to test login in one device or multiple device?
Functionality wise, it's enough to test in a single device. But when it
Mhm,
comes to the screen size, I mean
mhm,
responsiveness, then
mhm,
we should choose a specific set of devices with a
mhm.
different screen size, and that's enough.
Yes, that's exactly. So that means like say if I want to test a functionality like a login, so I need to purchase a Samsung, I need to purchase a Oppo, I need to purchase a Vivo and whatever the device you name it. So most probably what they do it is like you assume a scenario like if one device I need to purchase, there is a difference between the lower end device and the higher end device. Correct, right? Lower end device in the sense a device with a basic 6 GB RAM and 120 GB storage, and higher end devices like say 12 GB RAM and 256 GB storage. So will there be any difference in this? Maybe it's not like say don't relate it to our automation, just generally think like say whether you'll see any improvements in these two devices from a mid-range device to a high-end device.
Yeah, performance.
Yes, exactly. So due to the same performance only, we need to test it in all the devices how our application is going to react, or the application that you're going to test is going to react. Okay, so that's the reason any company you take it, any mobile application company you take it, they will have physical devices for sure, but not all the devices. And again, like say whether it's going to be an iPhone or an Android, it doesn't matter. Okay, so they'll have an high-end iPhone and they'll have a lower-end iPhone, and similarly they'll have like say lower-end Android and higher-end Android, but the testing is not going to be the same because when you see the wider range of people using the devices, so I might end up in using a Xiaomi device which is very very basic, and you might have a very bigger device like Samsung S25 Ultra or Xiaomi 15 Pro or something like that. Okay, so your performance is different and whatever I'm doing is a difference, and there will be some UI difference as well. So UI in the sense, some sometimes the apps I'm using in my device might tend to crash and your device might tend to work. So due to this behavior only, what they did is like, why I need to purchase everything? Let's try the cloud environment. Okay, so that when you use the cloud environment, all your devices will be kept over there. Whichever the device you want, you can pick it and you can run it. And it's not linked to one user. So many users can use it throughout the world and it's easily accessible. So that's also one of the advantage. So now people have stopped using the real device and they started to move towards the cloud environment. So the bridge between the Windows to Mac or Mac to anything is cut off. Okay, so to answer your question. Okay,
Okay.
so
You
most
meant to say the browser stack and all.
yes, yeah, exactly. The cloud providers are like Browser Stack, Sauce Lab. There are a lot of providers
Yeah,
available.
yeah,
Yeah, so we use it that one to use for a Windows machine. But the problem is there is again one more context problem available. So if you are using it as a free source, you'll be getting a limited time period to test it. But if you purchase it, I think it's around like $39 per month. You get like say lifetime access with all the devices and stuff. Okay, so purchasing it for a month or two, I think should be fine unless until you get it familiarized. But our course, if you see, we have structured in such a way so everything is documented and everything is video recorded. Okay, so you can have this for your any interviews, I would say. Yeah. Okay, so anyone more still want to introduce, or you need to tell your domain something maybe? Okay, it's fine. Yeah. So let's get back to the slides and thanks for your introduction. So let's get back to the slides. So this is about me and going further, like say, let's see what a mobile automation is doing. Okay. So mobile automation. Okay. So how many of you have been a manual tester over here? Manual or functional or black box? Maybe you can just chat it as a yes. Ah, yeah. Hands up is also fine. Yeah, that's good. 1 year manual. Okay. 1, 2. Okay. That's great. Okay, 3. Okay, total we have 4. Yeah, that's fine. 5. Yeah, okay. Okay, yes. So we have around like 6, 7 people. Yeah, thanks for your response. So when you're being a manual tester, okay, so okay, 2 years in manual. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, thank you. Thanks for the response. Okay, so when you're being a manual tester, like how would you tell, okay, well, what type of application that your testing is about? What is the type of application that you're testing is? So just to brief you about it, so whenever you're going to test, like whoever is new or like a fresher, like I didn't get the details yet. So if you're going to test an application, okay, real-time application in an organization, you usually get some zip file or a package and you put it inside your device and usually you test it. So it's not like a Play Store you go and download it. Okay, and in iOS it's a different way. You have something called a test flight within the organization where you can download and test it. But how will you know what type of application that you're dealing with? Okay,
extension.
so yeah, extension is one. Good. Next, any more answers? Extension is a very good point. Anything? Any more answers?
Build information.
Uh, in build info, what do you get exactly? Can you elaborate if you don't mind?
Uh, like the build number,
Mhm.
what type of build it is, whether it is for Android or iOS.
Okay, yeah, yeah, that way is also fine. Yes, yes.
You
I
can
said
tell you
basically
from.
we worked on the two types of application, that is a web
Mhm.
application and mobile application.
Okay, okay. Okay, so one more thing. Do you, at any point of time, have you asked the developer what is the coding language that they do it to develop the application?
Yeah.
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
Java,
Yeah.
Python.
Yeah, exactly. Because that also matters inside a application. Because there are certain programming languages. Yeah, Dart. Yes. Yeah. Because there are certain programming languages which adapts only to certain uh, what is it? Certain type of application. Okay. Just for an example, so if you're on Android, right? So basically we have Kotlin, yeah, React JS as well, .NET as well in some applications, and also like say Java is there, Java, Kotlin, Ruby. I'm not pretty much sure, but C Sharp I've seen it because most of the Microsoft apps are like say based on C Sharp, and Dart as well. I'm sure something is there, and React JS as well. Yeah, that's true. Yes, thanks for it. And based on the programming language, you can easily identify which application is it. And also there is something like say in iOS we have Swift, and Swift is the primary programming language, I would say. And apart from that, we also have something called a Flutter. Okay, so Flutter is also basically used. So based on the programming language also, you can segregate what type of application we are going to deal with it. Okay, so that's where your mobile application is divided into three main items, I would say. So one is your native application, web application, and hybrid application. So initially, like 3 4 years back, right? So we were using this on a mixture. Okay, so native application, we had it. Why we call it as a native application? The first thing. So native application is something like say, let me open a notepad. Okay, so native application. I hope it's clear. In case if it's very small, kindly let me know. So native application, as the name suggests, it's only applicable for certain environment. Okay, for certain environment. Okay, so what is that environment is about? Okay, so it can be an iOS, it can be an Android. Okay, so that means an application which is developed exclusively for the specific environment is called native application. So that means you can go to App Store and you can download the application. Okay, a normal application, not a test application, any normal application. Like say, let's have it as a Facebook. So the Facebook is available in iOS, the Facebook is also available in Android. But does this mean like say both the builds can be changed? Never. It can never happen it. Okay. So your Android needs to run on an Android, your iOS needs to run on an iOS. Okay. So that means both has a different platform, different development perspective, and different programming languages and different approach and different architectural styles. Okay. So architectural styles, wait for some time. So today let's see whether we can cover it. If not, tomorrow I'll show you a nice graphical picture to cover it up. Okay, so we have a good example of it. But right now, just keep in mind the native application is sticking to one specific platform at a time. Okay, so your iOS means you go to your app store, you download it. Your Android means you go to your Play Store, you download it. Pretty simple to make it more not complicated. Okay, so now you tell me like what type of application is yours. So you use an iOS or an Android? Even if it's a dotted, that's going to be a two variants will be there for sure. because most probably Microsoft uses something called a Unity to develop it. Okay, and I forgot the name of the technology. It starts with T. I totally forgot about it. Okay, so they use that particular technology to develop for both Android and an iOS. Okay, so this is about your native application. So native in the sense respect to your Android, you can use it, and respect to your iOS, you can use it up. And for iOS application, as you said, the extension will be if it's a real device, okay, a physical device, the extension would be .ipa. If it's simulator, then it's going to be .zip file. But if it's for Android, either real device or emulator. In Android, we call it as an emulator. So it's going to be like .pkg. For example, let me show you from my script or from my document. So we have some sample apps. Okay. So this is how it is.
Sorry,
.ipa.
Aravind, are you sharing your screen?
Yeah. You can't see my screen?
No.
Okay. Is it for everyone?
Screen sharing is disabled.
Yeah, screen is not shared.
Okay. Sorry about it. How about now?
Yeah, it's now. Yeah, it's visible now.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah. So I was just telling about this one. So if it's an iOS and if it's a real device, the extension will be IPA for a real device. And if it's a simulator, then it's going to be a zip file. But if it's an Android, you download it in Play Store and it's going to be either a real device and emulator, no issues. It's going to be a .apk. And how does it look like? I hope you can see my file explorer. So this is the extension .apk, okay, for Android, and zip file for iOS, and IPA for real devices. Okay, this is how a native application will be looking like. And native application nowadays are very highly in demand actually. Wherever you go, like say you get a good amount of native applications, and that's how they use it up. Okay, and the next one would be like say web application. So web application, as you know, like say sometimes our Chrome application or Firefox application, also they tell it as web application, but usually these things are called web apps. Okay, web apps, and most of it, the technology they install, like say MERN. Okay, sorry, not MERN. So mean stack developers, and Ruby on Rails. So how many of you have heard about this mean stack? Also MERN as well sometimes. Anyone heard about these things, these technologies before?
Yeah.
Yep, that's good. So these web apps are built on this one, and web apps are nothing but uh, nothing great. It's the same web application, but they customize according to the mobile devices. So here it is not divided into iOS and Android, so it works everywhere. Okay. So these are some of the tools that are used to develop, and these nowadays are very lesser in demand. Okay, because of the choice that people go about. So people choose between a browser based application and a native based application. Means usually they go for native application because you can easily download it and much secure, okay, than the web application. Okay, so due to these things they have been quite using the native application. And the last one is like say quite interesting one, which we call it as a hybrid application. Okay, so hybrid application is something like say I would tell it as a mixture of a native and a web apps. Okay, so it's a mixture of native plus web apps. So I can tell a classic example, like say in any application, if you go, there is a terms and conditions field, right? So in case if you visit your, maybe let me connect my device and show it to you. Just give me a second. Yeah. Just give me a second. I'll connect my device and show it to you. Okay. Android Studio. So don't go wrong. We are not using Android Studio just to project it to you. I'm just showing the Android Studio. Don't get it wrong. We are not going to use Android Studio. Okay. So I hope you can see my screen and my device. In case if it's not there, let me know. Can you able to see my phone? Some WhatsApp and Outlook.
No.
No, no,
Not
no.
yet. Okay, let me stop and reshare. How about now?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, able to see.
Yes.
Yeah. So in case if you go to any banking website, right? Maybe HDFC. Okay, let's go to HDFC. Okay, so this is a native based application. So when I download it, okay, let's quickly download, or ICICI is also fine. Okay, so this might exist in any application. Okay, let's go to HDFC. Yeah. So if you click this app, okay. So I've enabled my developer version. Okay, just give me a minute. Okay. Just a minute. I'll show you in a different application. Don't worry. So let me go to this application and let me log in. So this is a native application, I would tell, and standard user and then secret underscore sauce. And log in. And if you see, as you see it, this application seems to be something like a native application, which is available only inside your Android device. But if I click over here and go to something called a web view, and then I type a URL, https:// www.google.com, and then click go to site. You can see the web application is opening. So I can type anything over here. Maybe I can give Trump. Okay, you can see it's still working. So that means this you cannot consider as a web application, or neither you can consider as a native application. So it's something like, say, a web application embedded inside a native application. So this is what technically they call it as a hybrid application. Okay, so these hybrid applications were quite popular in some around like 5-6 years back, and we cannot expect the same thing over here due to some security reason. Okay, that means you cannot develop it right now, but still, if your project is demanding or the application is demanding, you can still develop it and use it. But sometimes some people, due to security reason, they don't use this one, but they have a different name for it. They call it as a web view in mobile automation perspective. So we'll all see this in detail, but just these are some of the technical jargons they use it up. Okay, so hybrid application also was quite popular some years back, but right now I don't think so any people are using hybrid application. A very minimal number. The numbers has come down, and most of them are going towards your native application. Okay, so this is also a situation that you need to consider, and how people will decide which application I need to go for this. From the mobile application perspective, first thing you need to check about the performance, and the second one, the cost to develop it, and third one, how many resources you have it out, the expertise. So based on this, they develop the application, and main focusly they'll see on the business requirement. If a business is requiring a lot of web pages, you cannot do it inside a native application. So there is still chances of doing it inside a native application, but you need to use something called a React Native or something like that to develop it out. But if you want something like whatever I showed now, an application, and then you go to Chrome browser and do all those things, then this needs a hybrid application. So technically to go on which application, it depends upon the completely on the business perspective. So we don't have any control on it, but we do have control on the testing perspective. Okay. So this is also quite important for any automation tester or mobile tester to know what type of application we have testing into it, because most probably in industry they would expect us to know like what application we have tested and which platform it works and how it works. So that's the main motive of explanation of all these things: what is native, what is web, and what is hybrid. Okay. So any doubts in this so far till now?
Yeah, Surfer, how come we get to know which application is a combination of both, like a hybrid? How can we, like the Swag Labs? Is it a
Mhm.
native or native and the web application to web a mobile browser together?
Okay. So to answer it, so first thing, like let's assume like we didn't start the automation. So blindly, if we need to check like what type of application is it, so it's going to be the developer, the first point of contact who can tell us like what type of application is it. But similarly, if I take a simulator, okay, this is in an iOS, the same application. Let's take the same application and let's try to open this in a simulator and let's see how it works. Okay, so I'm not sure how fast it will open. I should have did this while starting off the session, but it might take some time. But what I was about to come to tell is like say in an iOS, also you can use the same thing, but in iOS you don't have it as a hybrid application. So that's what I was about to tell. But how to get this information is like say the first thing is like say a developer. The second thing, if you have started automation, through the automation you can easily identify it. Okay, because your automation will give you a result, okay, telling like say this is a native application, this is a hybrid application. So it will indicate us with some keyword called your web view. Okay, so if a hybrid application has a page inside in it, like say how we are seeing it over here, right? So this basically we call it as a web view technically. Okay, that means web version inside a native application. Okay, so most probably in all your terms and conditions inside any application, it will be looking like this. Okay, so based on this web view, when we automate or like say when we try to automate the application, if we see anything as a web view, we call that as a hybrid application. So you can do this as part of your APM inspector. Okay, it's too early, but I'm just giving you some hints. So we can do this as part of your APM inspector. Okay, or through automation scripts. So these two ways we can investigate what type of application it is. Or a simple thing, if we don't want to do any of these things, we can directly check your developers. Why I'm telling it is like in an iOS, so technically now it will not load because my screen is shared. So I need to stop sharing so that it loads.
Can we
Let
consider
me.
Gmail as like a hybrid application?
Uh, no, I wouldn't say it as a hybrid application, even though it has a web page, because when you open it as a web page, it goes to your default browser, not to the browser within the application. Your Gmail doesn't have any browser within it. So it goes to the external browser. If it's going to be an iOS, a Safari, a default browser, or if it's going to be an Android, it can be any Android device supported browser or a Chrome browser by default. So it traverses to a new application altogether.
Okay.
Maybe LinkedIn, I can say it as a hybrid. Why? Because if in case if you're trying to apply for a post, right?
Yes.
Okay, so not easy apply, just there will be an apply. So if you click apply, it will
Company
open a,
website.
yeah, so it will open the website within the app. So again, I'm giving it as an assumption. I've never tested it because it doesn't go to a third party app. It opens the application within the application itself. So that way we can tell like it's as an example as an hybrid. Okay, I think I need to restart my Teams, but yeah, anyhow, I'll show that to you later tomorrow. Yeah, I need to start it before the session. Yeah, that's a problem. I need to find a solution for this. So this is happening only after I updated it. Okay, I need to see why it's doing like this. Okay, yeah, yes, please. I think someone raised their hand. Okay. Okay, so if no questions, no issues. So in order to tackle this only, we are going to learn about your mobile automation. And to learn about it, like say, I think you might have received, you might have went through the, what is it, the syllabus of it actually. So let me open the syllabus and let me quickly tell about it actually, because a lot of people, they have some things on the syllabus. So we have upgraded our syllabus and we have included some end-to-end cases and scenarios as well. So let me quickly take you around the syllabus, what we are going to deal with it and how is it done. Okay. Okay, so let me take this PDF itself. Yeah, this is the one. So technically, as it says, we are going to see Sauce Lab, AWS or Azure actually, whichever platform is available. But it's like the process is same actually, but these are the endpoints actually. That means the last of the session. But before that, whoever is new to mobile automation, we are in this part, introductory part. We didn't complete it yet, but just to go through the syllabus for you all, like whoever is not aware of Java, we'll be using this Java concepts for you so that anyone tries to attend an interview, they'll not be hindering it. Okay, because always when you go for an automation, the first thing is like say they check whether you know any programming language, and their questions mainly focus in and around the programming language initially, and then only they go through the other parts. So on this basis, like we have this oops concept. And may I know, like, say, is there anyone freshers or who is currently learning or want to learn the Java language? Yep, example of web apps. Let me see. If, long back I had some websites for web apps, but currently you can use this one, Atlantis. Yeah, Atlantis.com. You can use it as a web apps. Okay, so this using over here and using it inside your mobile device is quite a different experience. Okay, so let me close it, open the Chrome.
So I've got one question. Should we
Yeah,
use
yes,
our
please.
mobile to do the testing?
Sorry, can you come again?
Should we use our mobile to do the testing to implement these codes, or we can do it on Lambda test or browser stack?
I would say whichever is comfortable for you. Sorry. Whichever is comfortable for you, A real device is also fine. So most probably I will teach in a real device, okay, for our sessions, because it's easy to debug when compared to the cloud. Okay, so to start and
Mhm.
stop, it's easy to do it. But if you prefer the cloud environment like Lambda Test, Sauce Lab, or Browser Stack, that's also fine. Yeah. Okay, so this is a web app. I can tell it to you. Okay, because these applications are built on something called .NET based CRM item. I forgot the name again actually. Okay, so I forgot about it. But when you see it over here and when you see it over here, there is a huge difference in the user experience, not on the application itself, but on the user experience. And sometimes certain features may not be available in the web app. So we need to visit our Chrome browser to use it up. So that is how the web apps will be behaving. Yeah. So that's to answer you. Actually, I forgot the name. Yeah, Kartika. Yes. Okay. This is a good question. Can we test Windows desktop applications? There is a possibility. Okay, Windows desktop application. There is a possibility. Okay, for APM to use Windows items. Okay, but you cannot use it exhaustively. Test it, but small actions you can test it out, but not a complete one. I would tell there is a possibility. 50-50 percentage chances on what we are going to do. If we are going to do something end to end in a Windows based application, then I would say no, big no. But if it is going to be like say a small item, then we can do it out. Yeah. Okay, so that's to answer you, Srilata. Okay, so where we were actually, I forgot. Pim Inspector and Pro. Yeah. So we were in the syllabus part. So let me take the syllabus. So whoever has not aware of the programming language, we have a item to go through it. And then again, we have the APM setup, which is the core part of it. So whoever is having a Windows machine, we tell it on Windows machine separately in one session and iOS machine separately on another session, because both has different setup kind. Okay, so it's not the same. Okay, so there are some portions which you can do only in a Mac and some portion which you can do both in a Mac and Windows. So may I know like how many of you are using Mac and Windows? You can just type in Mac for Mac and Windows for Windows. Okay, Mac, Windows. Okay, Windows. Okay. So any more people? Yep. Oh, okay, we have some Macs. Okay. Okay, yeah, thanks for the feedback. Yes, then I'll show both in the Mac and Windows. Okay, so no issues. It will be recorded and it will be shared. Yes, I'm coming to the question, Gayatri. Like, so APM version, we'll use the latest APM version, whichever is available. So currently, if you see it, let me open it over here. APM docs. Okay, so this is the official website. We'll go with the official website. Okay, so you can see it when going to quick start 2.17. Okay, so that's the latest version, but let me check it in my terminal. So what version I have? I think it's 2.16. I have 16.4 or something. Exactly, I couldn't remember it. APM space double hyphen version. Yeah, 2.16.1. So we'll upgrade it and we'll use that version. And does it impact the Java? Yes. So let's keep the minimum version as 17. Okay. because sometimes there are some features in Java which affects the APM as well, the dependencies as well. So we can keep it anywhere between Java 17 to 23. I think that's the latest one. Again, let me confirm it. Yeah, 24. That's the latest version. So I have 17 and 23 both available, but if you want to use 24, that's also fine. But I would recommend, like, say, go above 11, JDK 11. Okay, that's the best thing because first do installation. We do installation or Java concept. We'll do the Java concept first, and then we go ahead with the installation because anyhow we need the Java, and then we need to go to the installation part. Okay. Okay, so I hope it answered you, Gayatri and Zaivana, if I'm not pronouncing it properly, sorry about it. And let's get back to this one, just 2 more minutes, we'll close it off for today. Okay, so this is about it, and then the app testing, how we can test it, how to write the first code in the app. Okay, and then also we have some implementations for application like autocomplete text box, implicit waits, actions, key press, long press, drag and drop, touch action, take screenshots, file utilities, and alerts handling, and browser based automation also we have, like, say, inside a mobile device, I'm telling. Okay, inside a mobile device you have a Chrome. Okay, so how to handle it, how to handle Safari, so how to switch between an app and a Chrome, an app and a Safari, so everything we will be seeing it out. And also, like, say, APM part of it, the Xcode, which is exclusively for your iOS. Okay, in case if you're testing your real device or a simulator, so these is must inside a Mac, we'll be checking this one. And also handling of these items is common across your Android and your iOS. And also from the framework part, we'll be seeing in detail about your TestNG, your cucumbers. Okay, both we'll be seeing it, all the features, and POM model in the sense page object model. Okay, and then some design patterns we'll see it. Okay, that means the solid principles we'll be seeing it, and where do we implement it, we see it. And then the POM model, we also see it for both Cucumber and TestNG. And for CI/CD, we go with the Maven. So this goes along with uh, the project creation actually, and then some commands here and there we'll be seeing it. Okay, and then some Jenkins setup and integration, how we do it up, and then cloud integration with Sauce Lab and AWS or Azure, how we can use it. Okay, so there will be some YAML file creation and all those things for our APM setup, actually the image setup. And same goes with, sometimes some people will demand, like, say, the GitHub. So GitHub has a own CI/CD, okay, called GitHub Actions. So how to use it for our execution. So that also we'll be seeing it up. So most probably, like, from here, the cloud integration and GitHub, it will be like an admin process actually. So there are some templates, we need to use it and we need to run it up. So these things we'll be covering it up. Yeah. So this is all about today actually. So what is an application and how to differentiate it, and what we are going to do, and what is the expectation is about. Okay. So now for the Q&A, like, say, before we proceed on to it, like, there is, in case if like, say, if you're interested, right, so still we have some slides which we'll be dividing it to tomorrow. Okay, but in case if you want to do an enrollment, so kindly contact this person, Mr. Kumar. He takes care of the enrollment and pros and cons of the sessions, so you can note it down and you can enroll with him. Yeah. So now for the Q&A session. So any doubts, anything, I am here to clarify. And a common doubt. So the sessions will be recorded, okay, and it will be shared latest by tomorrow morning, okay, and you can view it. And first 4 or 6 sessions will be of free. Actually, it will be common for everyone, okay, and after that they move towards a paid group, and that will be available for people who have enrolled it, okay. So that's about the videos and stuffs. So, and the notes and all those things, actually we'll be sending it as a GitHub link. So I have it as a GitHub. So these repositories will be shared with you, and it's for lifetime. So you can use it for your own office purpose, or you can use it for your own self learning or anything. So some repositories will be shared with you. And if you want, you can also contribute towards a GitHub, okay, in any of my GitHubs, so that it will be add an advantage for you when you go to any company. They ask you for a GitHub link, you can just show this links, and it will be a good start for you, I would say. Yep. Now over to you all. Okay, so just let me know for any questions. I see a few hands that is raised. Maybe start with Taslam Arif, maybe. Yeah. Any doubts, anything so far till now?
Which tool we are using to write the script?
We use the Java actually. So Java is the code, and we use like either IntelliJ or Eclipse. So I prefer an IntelliJ, but it's up to you actually.
Uh-huh.
So if you
Okay.
want me to use an Eclipse, I can use it. Yeah, no problem.
Eclipse is the best, but we can go for the majority.
Yeah,
So,
yes, yeah,
mm, thank you.
yeah, yeah, sure. I'm okay with anything. Yeah, whatever we have it. So anyone?
What would be the duration of this course?
Yeah, so the duration, I just listed it around like 50 hours, but I expected it like say plus 5 hours, so 55 hours, I would say. Yeah.
So
So
it will
each it will
daily
be from, yeah, daily 1 hours from Monday to Friday 1 hour, on the same timing actually. So how we have connected today. So today was a bit late, maybe I think due to the new link and stuff, but from tomorrow it will be on time. So we'll wait for 1 or 2 minutes and then we'll start it out. Okay.
Do we
And it
get
will
any
be,
course completion certificate or?
yeah, you do get it. Yes. So you
Uh-huh.
do get some course completion certificate at end of the session.
Hmm.
So most probably like after completing the syllabus, they'll be sending out to you. They'll ask for an email ID and WhatsApp number and your full name so that they can fill it and send it to you. Yeah.
Okay. So you will be teaching APM on Mac, right? So how Windows people will get adjust to that in parallel?
Yeah, I'll switch to Windows actually in setup.
Huh.
So we do both the things. We share it. Yeah.
Okay,
So
okay.
sometimes I shift to Windows, okay, because
Hmm.
as you said, like say there is some difficulty because the Java setup is different in Mac and Windows. So
Hmm.
we switch for installation alone. I go to Windows, okay, and Mac installation separately in Mac. And at times I used to switch between Mac and Windows. So whenever there is the necessity, so I'll inform you beforehand. So what device I'll be using it? Yeah, one class
Okay,
ahead.
okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry for raising this question
No problem,
because
no issues. Yeah.
as in the very beginning of the stage, we feel each step is a very hard stone. So
Correct. Yeah,
yeah,
I totally
thank you.
understand. Yeah.
Um,
Sure. Okay, so any
just one
doubts? Yes, please. Yeah, please go ahead. Yeah.
to see the market for the mobile automation. How it looks.
Right now, I would tell the mobile automation is good. Okay, Mobile automation is good. I wouldn't say it as an excellent. Why I didn't mark it as an excellent is like still like say people are doing manual testing. So for to automate it, we need some more resources. So right now the market is good and people expect expertise in this field, okay, so that they can automate it. So expertise in both cloud level, cloud in the sense your sauce lab, c test, there are a lot of providers. So if you're good at one provider, so the rest becomes easy. And they expect the expectation is quite high as well, that also I would tell. Because for a senior level, mid senior level resource, so they expect to set up everything by themselves and to kickstart the run. Okay, and slowly the AWS or Azure comes into picture when we host the particular cloud URLs. But that's not a quite mandatory, I would tell, but it's good to have feature. Yeah, and if you have some DevOps knowledge like pipeline creation and all those things. Yeah, but the market is good and it's very open. And I would say like people get better paid than the web applications. Yeah.
So after the
And
course
also
complete,
at the end of this course, and also
Mhm.
at the end of this course, we will be covering both Android and iOS platforms, right? Frameworks.
Exactly, exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
And for iOS, for Mac users, how we are dealing with, for example, is there
Mhm.
any alternative to go with for Windows users?
Yeah, cloud environment we have it. We can go with the cloud
Okay.
environment.
So Mac is not mandatory here.
Mandatory, not mandatory. Yeah. If you
Okay,
have,
okay.
it's good enough. But if you don't
Hmm.
have, just cloud environment, you can create new email IDs and then you can use it out. So you get 30 days, 60 days for every new user IDs. So you can use it up. Yes.
No, no, not here in real projects. Once after this course is
Real,
completed.
yeah, real projects like it depends actually. Some people use real device like, and some people use the cloud actually. So the company that I'm currently sticking into, like they use a cloud C test for running it. They don't have real devices. So it depends on organization to organization. If they have the budget, they'll give you the real devices. If they don't have the budget, it's going to be the cloud. Yeah.
So we are running iOS frameworks via Windows only.
Yes,
Ah, okay, got it.
because through the Windows, it will connect to the cloud platform, Sauce Lab or Browser Stack, and then it will run
Hmm.
the application over there, not in our Windows.
Okay,
So
because
yeah. Mhm.
I'm currently working on payments and it is completely a mobile project. Hence I'm
Okay, okay.
clarifying all my doubts.
Yeah, got it, got it.
Okay.
so
Yes.
after the completion of this course, means how many years of experience we can showcase?
You can show up to like say 3 to 5 years level. You can show it.
Okay.
Yeah. Which framework we'll use?
And
We'll use both the frameworks actually. We'll use Cucumber as well as your TestNG. For both, we use something like say POM model, which is nothing but your page object model.
Okay.
Yep.
and this is the same link which we are getting connected every day, right? Till the end of the course.
I cannot assure till the end of the course because after 5 6 sessions, they will stop it, and then whoever has enrolled it, they'll get a separate link. Yeah, that's how it goes. Yeah, this
Okay.
is an
But will
open
we be
session. Yeah, they'll keep
but
you posted. Yes.
okay, okay.
Yeah, they'll create a separate WhatsApp group for the people who have enrolled, and they give some new URLs, and from there the mainstream takes up. Yeah.
Could you share the syllabus for
Oh
this?
yeah, yeah. You want the link? You mean? Yeah. Just a minute. Yeah. Copy. Just posting it in the Teams chat so that you can have a quick look. Yeah. Okay. So any more doubts? Anything so far?
I think good.
Yeah. Thank you. So again, we'll meet up again tomorrow. So we'll see a couple of concepts which are related to mobile automation, like how does the mobile automation work and what do we do, and basic overview on installation, but it's not going to be practical, just a theoretical one. And some ADB commands, what does it do, and integration stuffs. Everything we'll be seeing it up. Yes. And where to implement what and those things and all. Yeah. And then we'll proceed towards your Java part. Not tomorrow, maybe, but maybe Friday or Monday we'll be proceeding towards the Java. Let's see how it goes actually, and then we can do it. Yep. And which applications we are using for testing? So we use like say Swag Lab. So Android, I don't mind any application, you can use it up for testing, but I usually go for Swag Lab and Motovolt and Flipkart based upon the scenarios actually. And also like there is another demo app called API demos. These four I use it for Android, but for iOS I use Daily Check. Okay, that means it's a calendar based app, and also Swag Lab is again available over there. And yeah, so iOS is little restricted, so I use just these two. Why it is restricted, I'll tell you in detail. Yeah, there is a catch over there, I'll tell you. Okay, so yeah, no problem. So if there is no other doubts, I would say thanks for your time, thanks for your patience as well, and let's meet again tomorrow. I hope everyone attends tomorrow. Yeah, have a great day ahead, and wherever you're in the world, and let's catch up tomorrow. Yeah, thank you. Thank you all.